I got a friend in Baltimore, little Eliza Jane, streetcars running.
Every time I walk in, I am awash with gratitude that I can come to a place that we sought and fought and worked so hard to give it a home of its own, and find that it stands here, and it stands here vibrating with work to be done and people yet to arrive and stories to leave. It's an honor and a privilege every single time.
It was 1974. A group of us realized that our history was disappearing as rapidly as we were creating it. We also knew that some of us had really tried to find material buried in libraries and journals and could not find what we needed. And so a few of us said, hey, wait, why don't we just start our own collections? Why don't we put together what we had and build from there? And that was the start of the Lesbian Herstory Archives. Luckily, Joan Nessel lived in a larger apartment on the Upper West Side. And so she said, why don't we set it up in the little back room behind the kitchen? And so we did. And the energy was incredible. The energy was high. People walked in less to do research and more to find a space that was a home. And it was in a home. And so the warmth and the love and the caring, it just burst at the seams with that kind of feeling.
People would call and say, could you come out and tell us we want to have a meeting, 20 or 30 people are going to come over, and could you come and talk to us about the archive? What the slideshow was, it was a visual representation of various parts of our collection to show people, to tell some of the history, and we would talk about material that we found and how it came to be in our possession.
I'd seen a photo, that Morgan Gwenwald photo of Deb Adel in that badass leather jacket. Moved to New York in '86 and almost immediately became involved in the Lesbian Herstory Archives. It took me several months to venture back to Joan's bedroom area, but when I finally did, to retrieve something, it was clear that the archives had invaded the bedroom as well in a serious way.
As the archives began to take over the apartment at 13A, and it became clear that we needed more space, it was an idea that we would have our own building.
Oh, here's the archives opening. There's some folks there. That's JP and Sam. The first day we opened, we had a huge party. Everybody came. We had a little parade down the street. We had some speeches. We paraded down the edge of the park and back, and then we had tour after tour after tour, people just streaming in here.
And I think that's what's interesting about the archives and what's magical. It's not necessarily even the number of people, it's that everyone who comes here, in my experience, is having a very significant moment. They had a mission to get here, and they made it, and they're in it.
For the women to come and read.
What ends up happening is I think people come here looking for a piece of themselves or like an ancestral connection to the women that came before them, that did the things that they've done, that have felt the feelings that they feel.
I think that we will continue in the direction that we view as positive and be brave. We have to.